Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Hi, and welcome to the Gayla Scrivener Show. I am so glad you're here. And you're in the right place if you're just starting out into freelance or creating your own solopreneur business and are looking to find freedom to work from practically anywhere. You could have had your business for quite some time, but you're seeking to have more freedom so that you're not tied to a geographical area. Now, working from practically anywhere isn't without its challenges. As with starting any business, it takes time and it does take effort. And the cool thing is that we have so many opportunities before us to create a business revolving around our experience, our know-how, our passions, our likes, things that really are fun for us. And the cool thing is that we can start our own personal brand business, that thing that revolves around our likes and what really jazzes us, with very little overhead, very little investment in getting things started. And that very cool thing can also be a big disappointment because it's relatively easy for anyone to start a web page, have a social platform, send emails, do the things you're supposed to do. The entry point is so low that you think that, hey, I can throw up a website, I can do a few social posts, and then I will have a business. And many are disappointed that the results are not immediate. I'm going to just pare down in this show, again, like with last week's show, about social media. There is a lot of hype out there when it comes to social media marketing. There's also a lot of pressure, undue pressure, that we place on ourselves that maybe we should be posting all the time. I know and follow some folks where it seems they are posting in every single platform. They have ads on top of that, so I'm seeing them all the time. I also know folks who are hesitant in posting anything at all because they don't want to be annoying to other folks. They don't want to be viewed as someone that's posting a cajillion times a day and lose followers or offend or annoy somebody. And it's not even that they are thinking that they'll offend somebody in a political or religious view. No, it's more of, hey, I'm going to be posting too much and you're going to see me too much. I'm going to annoy you, so I'm not going to post at all. And that just defeats the purpose altogether. First off, in order for others to get to know you, what you stand for, and what you do, they won't transition in wanting anything that you have to offer. And right now, you may not even have anything to offer. And maybe you just don't know what your business will actually be. Well, then posting on social media is a great path of discovery. Let's think about this for a bit. If the root of what social media actually is, it's simply a means to broadcast your thoughts, your feelings, your message out there to the world in order to make connections with other folks with similar thoughts, feelings, likes, dislikes, then especially when you're starting out, or if you've been in business for a while and are struggling and wrapping your head around this whole social media thing and how to incorporate it into your marketing plan, just take a step back. Just take a deep breath and remember this one thing. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple and create a small system and build from there. Don't get carried away either. Don't think that you have to be everywhere all the time with a cajillion posts. Some of this message is a repeat from last week's show. And last week's show was all about social media and setting a realistic mindset around it. Keeping your expectations in check when it comes to creating your social media process or system, if you will, that best fits you and what you want to achieve. And use it as a self-discovery, and you're going to make changes along the way. It all depends on what you want to do and how you want to set up your system. It all depends on what stage you are in your online business journey. But remember from last week's episode, I was talking and repeating over and over that social media is a communication avenue. It's a way to communicate. So just take the whole hype and stuff off, especially at first, because you want to genuinely communicate with individuals. Now, chances are, if you're listening to this podcast, then you're either freelancing on the side of a day job and want to make a shift to do your side gig as full-time. You're more than likely using your talents, your knowledge, and creating your own personal brand. And that's fantastic. Then use social media as maybe your first line tool. It's personal. Remember that communication is personal. Just start out small and do some consistent posts. Now, if you're a solopreneur, like a coach or a consultant or other service provider, and have been in business for a while and have a fair number of clients already, but you find yourself struggling keeping up with a social media plan, even wrapping your head around how does social media best and effectively work in my marketing plan. So you may struggle with posting consistently to seeing and answering messages because you're overwhelmed and busy with maybe creating other content or seeing clients and doing other things that business owners do. So the consistent posting just falls by the wayside. Then you should really, really consider delegating your social media management. Having social media as one of the first things that you delegate as a solopreneur is an affordable way to leverage your time. It really is. And that doesn't mean that just because you delegate social media, some of those social media tasks, that you should be completely out of it. No way. Instead of being stressed or overwhelmed on keeping up with consistent daily posts and scheduling those out, if you delegate that out, you could concentrate on other pieces of content and engagement. Maybe you want to start a weekly video, like a Facebook Live. If you delegate your social media posts, you don't have to worry about all the regular posts that you might do, like that we're going to go into in just a little bit. But you can concentrate on just the message of that Facebook Live and just that one. And your social media folks or person that you've delegated to can worry about like announcing when you're going to be live and doing those posts to kind of say, hey, remember this, and help you in that area so you don't have to do every single step. Now, I have a friend that was really, really disappointed in her investment when it came to delegating her social media management. And from an outsider looking in, I kind of see one of the reasons why. First of all, she never logged into her social accounts to kind of monitor, to kind of see what was going on, to see what types of posts that were getting some engagement, and even just kind of monitoring that. And she never had active communication with the person she delegated to so that they could make more effective posts, or to listen to the person that she delegated to see what could help make their job more effective? Was it that she needed to snapshot some selfies once in a while and just text them to them, or what have you? Creating a process to help her communicate her message. And heck, they might have not even known some of her messaging. Like she might have, I know that she had held some events and she didn't even tell her social media folks. So how would they know how to build a relationship on social media with folks without the communication? So first of all, she wasn't in her social accounts at all. Second, she delegated and she just did not want any involvement with it at all. Well, when you're developing a personal brand, even if you are delegating things, it's still your personal brand. You need to stay in close contact with those folks that you delegate to. And one of the last things that I noticed was she didn't really stick with it that long. And when you stick with this for like a couple of months, you don't get a good, strong feel of how you can best improve on the process to have long-term benefits in leveraging your time. And so it didn't work for her. And she is at a stage in her business that where it would have been beneficial for her to learn the process in social media at first and going through the motions of scheduling her own posts. And that's my opinion. That's how I would have guided her. Perhaps after she would have gotten into the groove of consistency and figuring out what her messaging would be through simple social posts, one a day, then she might have done better in delegating to someone else to keep those posts going and then spend her time that she would have been doing on her regular, consistent posts. After she delegates, then she could spend her time on perhaps blog posts and staying consistent with blog posts and her messaging there and focusing on content. And that would help whoever she delegated to broadcast her message, her tips, and share things there. So enough about that. The one thing that I believe that is the core thing on creating structure and creating systems is that we have to be consistent. Now, if you are on your own and are just discovering things, you may not have a clue as to what to post on a consistent basis. And that's okay. Keep it simple though. Post what makes you happy, what interests you, and just keep it simple. And maybe if you're not in social media that much, make a commitment to pop in there and make a post or schedule a post and be consistent. You'll get a process going. Don't feel lost or feel like you should be posting everywhere. Keep it simple. Start out with one platform at a time. And like I said last week, get into a routine of making it a system so that you have at least maybe one post a day scheduled. That was just a suggestion on a schedule. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and you'll find a system. Maybe it's once a week at first. I don't know. Everybody's journey is a little different. Don't overcomplicate things. Over time, by just the act of getting used to posting and communicating on social media, you'll be able to understand how you can effectively help your current customers and attract new ones. Today, I'm going to share some posting ideas. 48 posting ideas. Well, actually, I'm going to highlight just a few of them. I have a free download that if you go to GaylaScrivener.com/social ideas, then you can get the complete list of 48 social media post ideas. And this will help you kind of get the creative juices flowing, so to speak, so that you can, if you're sitting down and it's like, oh, I am so busy, I don't even know what I should post. Because sometimes I'm there. I mean, you're busy with so many things, and then to make one more decision, even as simple as what to post onto social media, sometimes you just don't want to use your brain cells in that manner. So today, for the rest of the show, I'm going to highlight a few social media ideas to kind of get your creative ideas going that you can have a social post for. And again, for the complete list of 48 ideas that you can just print off and maybe just tape it next to your computer or whatever, then you can use it as a reference for a quick guide on what you want to maybe post for this week and any future posts. And there's 48 ideas. So that could be a post a day for 48 days, and then you just go back up to number 1. Not too big of a deal. So try not to overcomplicate it, but here are a few of the ideas. On the list, you'll see that number 6 is link to your newest blog post. If you're already posting a blog, or you're consistently posting a YouTube video, or you have a weekly or a monthly podcast, then post a link to that episode or that blog post to your website, to the YouTube channel, to your podcast audio, and just announce that you've got a new episode or you've got a new article. And then, honestly, you could post that more than once within a week and just have the post look a little different. Maybe there's a quote out of the article or the podcast or the video that you can pull out and type it into the message and then say, hey, for more, listen here. And then you link to your article, your blog post, your video or your podcast. So use that. And you may be right now not creating a consistent video or podcast or blog post, and that's okay. See, later down the line when you're consistent with your social media posts, then you can delegate the consistent ones, what I call the baseline posts, to somebody else. Leverage your time so that you can concentrate on creating that blog post. And you're trading your time from actually posting on social consistently. You're delegating that out so that you can concentrate on more meatier content, so to speak. Number 8 on the list. If you download that list, and you'll see that number 8 on the list is company accomplishments and milestones. Now, if you're doing creative things like, arts and crafts type thing, I see immediately how it is so easy to post an image of the finished project that you have. If you are a jewelry maker and the sense of accomplishment of, yes, a job well done, then you post the finished project. That's a wonderful post. And just yesterday, I was at a Mountain Man type show with my husband, Robert, because he's really into Mountain Man stuff. And Robert is very much a creative, and he does just that. He posts the finished projects of his handcrafted leatherwork, and that's how he gets a lot of interest and sales from his projects. Well, anyway, I have to say yesterday at the time of this recording, but we were at one of his type Mountain Man shows, and I was overhearing a conversation that Robert and the gentleman at one of the tables were having. The guy was saying, I don't want to seem boastful, but when I post on my Facebook page my finished blacksmithing stuff. And I feel like, man, it's kind of boastful and maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But I was sitting there thinking of what he said, and it's like, no, we're not boastful in posting our accomplishments. Let's have our friends and family and those that are closest to us share in our excitement. When we see posts of other folks that are excited about an accomplishment, we want to cheer them on. It gives us a way of being able to be cheerleaders for other folks. So there is nothing wrong, and there's nothing that you should never feel boastful in posting your accomplishments. For me personally, doing businessy type stuff, I always struggle on what to post. It's a great idea to have someone else outside of you. You know, that old saying that you can't see the label when you're inside the bottle. That's why one of the first things that I did was to delegate social media posts for me, because I've added somebody on my team to kind of be that cheerleader. I talk with them all the time, and they recognize accomplishments that I don't think are a big deal. And then they'll post those things, even the littlest things. If you're ready to delegate to somebody else, they will recognize these accomplishments that you find aren't a big deal and are a great source of connecting with your followers. Let's go down to number 11 on the list was valuable information from other influencers. You know you follow other people. Whether it's something like, for me, I follow a lot of overlanding folks on Instagram. I really like that. I like vehicle-based travel and being able to work from anywhere. So I like to follow those types of posts. And when something moves you, then share it. Or if they have published a podcast or a blog post or have some sort of information, and I follow a lot of online marketers too, and they're online influencers. And when I truly and genuinely like something that they've done, then I'm going to share it. Sharing what others do because it motivates and inspires you, that is a perfect type of post. Another type of post is a tutorial video on a common problem. I have a client who is Tom Franiak, and he is the founder of Midwest Cabinets and Design, and he does videos. And what I love is that he does these little videos, and randomly on the job site, when something pops into his mind, and he will see either a problem that he would like to educate do-it-yourselfers, or educating the homeowner in knowing what the end result should look like, and so that they can have a really good relationship with their contractor. But he shows and gives his perspective, and some of them are how-to, or just some of them is like, hey, look at this. This is a something that should not be done, and what you need to be watching for. And he'll post that video. Like I said, sometimes it might be live, and a lot of times it's just a video that he just did on his phone. Then he'll upload it to his Facebook page. And that is a great post. Here's another little cool thing is that if you do that video, I mean, Tom is using that video that he does ad hoc, and he is building his YouTube channel on those, because that kind of content can be repurposed and used in playlists and organized in a fashion so that all these random thoughts that he may have can be, the longer that he does it and the more that he's consistent with it, then it starts to develop a wonderful content channel and a path for him to help those that are looking for the information that he can provide. It doesn't happen overnight, and it does take some time to build that channel. But I just love how he just pops open his phone, does these short videos, and he's learning from them, and he's getting a process going. And he knows that over time that his message and his library of messages of these random thoughts will become more cohesive at a later time. So if you, and whatever you're doing, and you're comfortable with video, sometimes I know I'm not comfortable with video, but I'm getting used to the idea. Just whip out your phone. You don't need special equipment or anything like that. If you can help solve a problem for someone, answer a question, then consider doing that on video, and that is a perfect post. When you download the social media ideas, you'll see that number 14 are inspirational quotes. And inspirational quotes are everywhere, but they are a good piece of content. And what inspires you may very well inspire your followers. So a quick and easy thing is just post a quote. And you can use tools like Canva and plop in a beautiful image, maybe even add your logo or your .com page on it, and then put in the quote. There was a period of time that I was feeling kind of unmotivated and feeling kind of down on growing my business and being able to travel, making it just all work. And I was getting into Instagram, and I was beginning to look at images that Robert and I have taken over our travels, and that really inspired me. And then I had this book that I was writing in, and it had a quote up at the top of the page, and then you just do a little journaling. Well, I decided, it's like, I need to be motivated. And one of the processes in that is I took that quote at the top of my little daily journal, and I put it into Canva along with one of the pictures that Robert and I took along our travels. And then I shared it. I did it in Canva, and then I did it for probably 30 or 60 days. I can't even remember, but every single day a quote image went out on Instagram. One was in stories and one was in the post feed. But just going through the motions of doing that myself, even though that most of my posts are delegated to my team, just going through the motion of doing that, it got me more inspired and it motivated me. And what was so cool, I did it at first for just myself, but what was so cool is that I got a lot of responses and I got a lot of new followers, and I got people responding to my posts that normally didn't, because I was just sharing my thoughts, the quotes that were inspiring me. And that was just, I did it for myself at first, but I was helping other people. And that was an easy way of having post and engagement. Another idea is don't forget about information about upcoming events. I can't tell you how many times, when in our company, Scrivener Solutions, that our clients forget to tell us. If we're doing their social media management, they forget to tell us about the stuff, the events, the whether they're free or they're paid events that's coming up. So we have no idea that we should be announcing these special events on social media. But if you're doing posts for yourself and you're doing events or you're attending an event, that is a perfect post to have. You can also do, if you look on number 18, customer reviews. Did you get a good customer review somewhere? Maybe it's a Google review. Maybe it was something nice that was said in a text, a letter that you received, whatever. If you got kudos from somebody, take a screenshot or share it on social. It really feels good to acknowledge, like, hey, thank you. Acknowledge the person that had given you the nice things that they said, but also it's just a feel-good post. And it doesn't seem boastful or anything. It's just sharing that is like, hey, thank you so much for the kind words. How about posting something about company culture or kind of the behind the scenes stuff of what you do? And when you're a solopreneur, that behind the scenes stuff may seem kind of weird because it's just like, I don't want to show everybody what I'm eating every day or whatever. No. You can be working on a project. Then post images at various stages of completion. I had the example earlier about making jewelry. Don't just show that finished project. All through the stages, you might want to show an image of what stage the project is in. If you are a writer, why not post a picture of you working in the library? Doing a selfie of, it's like, okay, it's writing time. This character's coming around and just little simple posts. Number 24 on the list, you'll see holiday related posts. There are a ton of holidays out there. And it's not just the ones out there that are those government ones. No, how about all these quirky holidays that you could kind of capitalize on. All you have to do is Google something like holidays in February. And for any month that you're curious about, just Google holidays in and put the month in there. And you're going to get a list of a whole bunch of sites that have different national holidays. Holidays like National Donut Day. That may be a fun little post. Or National Don't Step on a Bee Day. That is a fun thing to have. You also don't want to forget industry-specific events. Perhaps you're in an industry that there is an awareness or an appreciation that you want and that you should promote or make people aware of, and you may have specials that coordinate with that type of industry-specific event. Let's take massage therapy, for example. In that industry, there is National Massage Therapy Week, and it takes place this year, October 25th through 31st. Well, if you're a massage therapist, or if you're in the holistic health type of industry, you may want to, and in fact, it's a really great idea to put posts out there on your social talking about things like social or massage therapy and the benefits of it. And if you're a massage therapist, you most certainly may want to run specials or offers during that time. Number 32 on that download, asking for customer feedback. Just asking folks for their opinion about something is a great way to engage. And maybe you ask your followers to choose between two images. I know recently what we had done was do some posts of two images to choose from. Which do you like better of a book cover that we were designing? It's a great way to engage with folks, but then it's also a great way, it's like, what resonates with other folks? Because if you don't ask people what they want or what they like, then you don't know how you can help them best. Number 42 on the list, thank your followers for something. Thank yous are always a great idea. You can even tag, and you should be tagging the person you're thanking to have, honestly, you want to make sure that they see the thank you, but also that by tagging that other person, you have the potential of your post be seen by their followers. It seems like a no-brainer to show your appreciation to folks. The very last thing that's on the list is promoting your products and services. And that is a no-brainer, really. We should be doing that. The thing that I see is that perhaps we get all hooked up into the hype, and that's what we should be posting first. And it seems like all we're posting is buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. On my list, that is the very last thing on there. You want to be able to engage with folks. I have an author friend of mine that just hates doing social posts because all the time it's like, well, all I'm saying is buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. And quite honestly, when he delegates that task of social media, he puts the parameters of, we've got to promo this book, we've got to promo this book. And so it doesn't feel good for us as social media managers to represent him to the fullest, that all we're posting are promo ads or promo posts, because it does get tiring. That's why on this list, there are 47 other things that break up the buy my thing type of posts. So just take a step back, take a deep breath, and don't make it so hard or complicated. Just snip it down and download the list to give you an idea. And because sometimes sitting down at a blank screen and figuring out what you want to post, it can get overwhelming. You're using brain cells for that, and you're already so busy in your day. So just use the list to just kind of check mark what you can do, and don't overthink it. Now, I invite you to download the complete list of 48 social media ideas by going to GaylaScrivener.com gaylascrivener.com/social ideas. Now, there is a link in the show notes for it, but just remember gaylascrivener.com/social ideas. Now, I hope these ideas will help you realize that social posts don't have to be overwhelming or intimidating. It's simply a matter of mass communicating and broadcasting your message. Just take that deep breath, keep it simple, use the KISS method. It's just an avenue where people can connect with you better, an avenue where you may connect with others better. One of the many lines of communication available out there. So just, like I said, deep breath, keep it simple, and whether you're doing your posts yourself or you have hired someone and are delegating your regular social posts, download the list because it could spark some ideas in changing things up a bit. Just go to gaylascrivener.com/social ideas. Now, I do hope you found this episode helpful, and if you haven't already, I would love it and be so honored if you'd subscribe. Until next time, have a fantastic week.